Students,
Good afternoon, sir.
good afternoon. Are you hearing my voice?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, right. So in the last class, we completed a few things regarding ancient Egypt. Can you give me one or two points what we discussed in the last class?
Economic conditions,
Mm.
geography,
Yeah,
geography
yeah.
of geography.
We completed only the economical conditions. Okay. So in the
Only
last class,
just entered into geography.
mm. సో ఏదైతే ఎకనామికల్ కండిషన్స్లో అగ్రికల్చరల్ అట్లనే నాన్ అగ్రికల్చరల్ ఆస్పెక్ట్స్ సంబంధించినటువంటి కొన్ని అంశాలు మనం లాస్ట్ క్లాస్లో మాట్లాడుకున్నాం. ఓకే, సో ఇక ఈరోజు
Yes,
క్లాస్కి
sir.
వచ్చినట్లయితే, ఓకే, టుడే వీఆర్ గోయింగ్ టు సీ అబౌట్ అడ్మినిస్ట్రేషన్ అండ్ లీగల్ సిస్టమ్ బేసికల్. ఓకే, సో ఇన్ ద పార్ట్ ఆఫ్ అడ్మినిస్ట్రేషన్, we already covered certain political things regarding the ancient Egypt, like the rulers. We had discussion over the kingdoms, nearly the three categories or three uh, types of kingdoms, like old kingdom, middle kingdom, and um, imperial age. Okay, new kingdom. Okay, within these three parts of the kingdoms, nearly 50 pharaohs are ruled, and this is a common phenomena there. Okay, so pharaoh is the name given to the ruler basically in the ancient Egypt. And while moving to the administration, we have several aspects which adjoining to that particular administration. Okay, so where the pharaoh is the center of the administration, and pharaoh is the head of the central government. Okay, so here we all already have certain things regarding certain provinces also. Okay, so such a province like structure here we find nothing but nome. Okay, so nearly the whole Egyptian civilization, which divided into the 42 nomes, and each nome was headed by a in charge is nothing but the nomarch. Okay, so whole the over these 42 42 provinces, one central government is there, and the central government, the head of the central government was the pharaoh. Okay, so pharaoh was the main was the in charge of the whole Egyptian territories. Okay, so here the pharaoh was the absolute monarch of the whole nation, the whole territory, and which is, yeah, at least in the theory, yielded complete control over the land and its resources. Okay, we all find certain natural resources also. They followed certain mining and agriculture, trade and commerce. They followed, and each and every thing, each and every department in the or every section in the ancient Egypt, which is followed in the name of pharaoh. Okay, so pharaoh is a monarch. He was a central administrator. Okay, so the king, the ruler, was the supreme military commander and head of the government, and who relied on a bureaucracy of officials to manage his affairs. Okay, so in charge of the administration was the second in the command. Okay, that is like vizier. Okay, so in the yesterday's class, we already not yesterday's class, before the class, we discussed about social structure also. Okay, so within the social structure, we discussed two terms here. One is Aman and Wazir. Okay, so here the whole the administration, the subordinates of Pharaoh, like various bureaucrats you find, and within that bureaucrat system, the system of bureaucracy, Wazir is the important one. Okay, so Wazir was the highest officials in the bureaucracy. Okay, so he is like a just subordinate, and he's like a premier, like a prime minister. Okay, so and after Wazir, you find the Aman. Okay, so Aman was a chief priest, and where he was a important advisor to the Pharaoh. Okay, so Aman was a advisor to the Pharaoh, and in the same way, he was a priest from the priestly class, and he was a chief priest at the central level. Okay, so and we find one a priestly class in the society, which is called with the name of Weeb. Okay, so WEEB. Okay, WEEB is nothing but is a priestly class in the ancient Egypt. Okay, so and Pharaoh was followed a important theory of kinship, is nothing but divine right theory. Okay, so under the divine right theory, Pharaoh should be a representative of the god. Okay, so and he sometimes and people treated him as a ray. Okay, so ray in the sense is Ray is a son of the god or a representative of the god. Okay, so not every pharaoh. Some pharaohs are treated them as a race. Okay, so Ray, Re Ray. Okay, so Re Ray in the sense he was a son of the god or a representative of the god. Okay, so and apart from this Aman, Wazir, you find a number of other officials also. And before that, just I will give you one, share my screen. Um, Okay, so here you are watching about a small screen, which is about Egyptian bureaucracy. Okay, so after that, the whole at the regional level, the country was divided into number of 42 nomes as a administrative structure, and each nome was headed by a in charge or like a governor, is nothing but the monarch who was accountable to the wazir for his jurisdiction. Okay, so uh, and after after this nomarch, there are other important systems also you find, which is under the control of the pharaoh at the central level, and nomarch at the provincial level. Okay, so they followed certain things like land surveys, and maintaining the treasury, and also buildings, various royal palaces or buildings, and they strictly followed a legal system, and also other things like maintaining of law and order. Okay, so and um, they also followed a system of collection of the taxes in the various forms. Okay, so the most important revenue to the government was the land revenue. Okay, So they provided certain irrigational facilities, right? So not only various implements the peasants followed, and apart from those implements, and those implements sometimes supplied by the government. Okay, so in the SADAF, like a implement SADAF, we already discussed. SADAF is a water lifting implement where the ancient Egyptian people followed. Okay, so sometimes this government also supplied that type of implements to the peasants, and also the government constructed the irrigated canals wherever the water facility is somewhat rare, and some reservoirs and dams also constructed during the times of the pharaohs. Okay, due to provide such a facilities, these government also collected certain revenue on land, and certain cess on the water while providing the water facilities. Okay, so likewise, these are the important tax to the government. And in the same period, where the pharaohs also given importance to the trade and commerce also. Okay, so the trade and commerce also taken place on the sea and land routes also. Okay, so in the land route, while providing a better facilities on the land routes, these government also collected certain tax in the form of tax, and while providing such facilities on the sea route also, the government collected certain tax from the traders or merchants. Okay, so likewise, in the same way, they followed certain system of economy. We already discussed a barter system they followed in the initial days. Okay, so the much of the economy was centralized, organized, and strictly controlled. Okay, so where here the temples formed the backbone of the economy sometimes, um, and not only were they houses of the worship, but also were the responsible for collecting and storing the nation's wealth in a system of granaries and treasuries administered by the overseers who redistributed grain and foods in the during the time of floods and drought, during the time of the calamities. Okay, so and uh, uh, where they also stored the food grains for the future also. Okay, so and the ancient Egyptians did not use coinage until the late periods, and they use a type of money, a barter system with the standard sacks of grain and the deben, a weight of roughly 91 grams of copper and silver. Okay, so forming a common denomination. Okay, so in the economical aspects, we already discussed about this. Okay, so this is about certain administrative system of this ancient Egypt. When you see these legal systems basically, and before going to legal system, and I will share another screen. Uh, okay, are you getting my screen, students?
కనిపిస్తుంది సార్.
Okay, right. Right. So along the centuries, the Egyptian civilization
సార్ ఇంతకు ముందుదే వస్తుంది సార్.
లేదా వేరే చేంజ్ చేశాను చూడండి.
ఇప్పుడు వచ్చింది సార్. ఓకే సార్.
Yeah, right. Okay, so along the centuries, the Egyptian civilization flourished based on strongly established foundations in administration and government system. About 5,200 years ago, King Menes laid the foundation, oldest legislative systems in the human history, when he issued the law of Tehat, a god of wisdom, as the only law applicable all over the Egypt. Okay, so he also made Memphis as the capital of the first unified and centralized system in the history of ancient Egypt, with an organized system of government, administration, judiciary, education, and police, army, etc. Okay, so ancient Egyptian antiquities speak much of how advanced their government and administrative systems were. Okay, so the king, Pharaoh, was the head of the state, who appointed the great treasurer or the tax collector, and local government was successfully applied in the Egypt since the time of Old Kingdom. And the king controlled the executive and judicial powers and exercise his executive power with the assistance of many civil servants, okay, like a bureaucracy. Okay, so and when you see certain legislation, the old kingdom, the state institutions were clearly defined with specified duties, either in the royal court, government, and or the administrative missionary. Okay, so when you see certain ministerial post which established in the government, you see here royal court, you find as the unified state in the old kingdom was firmly established, the king's authorities grew wider, and consequently the royal court and the status and terms of reference of court staff gained more importance, ranging from religious, civil, judicial, and military duties. When you see the central government was headed by the king, who was assisted by a number of civil servants. Government executives were subjected to complete complete administrative hierarchy, and it is the worth nothing that the legal system was obligatory and binding to the king, whose powers in the selecting and promoting civil servants were restricted. When you see the advisors, um, the advisor was the highest official in the state and the head, but not a member of government, higher council or the council of Big Ten. Okay, so when you see the council of Big Ten, since the third century, the council known also a higher council of the government and comprise council of Big Ten is a advisory body, right? So here the comprised senior state officials in addition to certain army commanders and one of the royal sons, and this council controlled the state administrative machinery and ensured the enforcement of legislation and royal degrees, starting the fifth dynasty. Okay, so when I see the ministers about the like a council of ministers, with the beginning of the fourth dynasty, certain laws, legislations, and reforms were introduced to the government and the state administrative machinery. Of these, the most significant was the introduction of position of the judge of royal court, and the ancient equivalent of a minister, that was a civilian rather than a military position. Okay, so when you see the state central administrative machinery, state central administrative machinery comprised a number of large departments assigned all administrative functions of the state, including the king's house, with branches in every province responsible for the state administrative service. It comprised departments of special importance, such as the royal mail department, which ensured that royal orders were properly communicated, and other departments included financial, royal worship, public works, tax, water, and the army. Okay, so when you see the personal status legal system in the old kingdom, and at this stage Egyptian legal and legislative history, individualism was a dominant trend, and every individual had the right to acquire an property of his choice, and disposition of property was guaranteed right to owner, personal status, legal system provided provided as the following. Like each Egyptian had the right to marry only one woman, and a woman is equal to man, and she has the right to have her own property and enter into a sale or purchase contracts. And father's wealth shall be inherited equally by his sons and the daughters, and without a distinction between the male and female. Okay, so every man is free to make his own will, and slavery was not sanctioned by the Egyptian laws at the time, and neighboring landlords normally shared water for irrigation. Okay, so when you see certain legislature degrees, okay, leave it that one, and we'll see the civil legislation, and these are many things to be to discuss. And there are, you find advisory councils, and advisory council of representatives likewise. And before that, before going to these things, uh, I will give you certain basic things you find in the legal system. Okay, so how the judiciary divided, and you find any certain divisions in the legal system. Okay, so legal system is one of the department, one of the ministry under the central government, and he was headed by a minister of judiciary. And within and apart from a ministry or head of the minister, you find a chief justice also. Okay, so and the whole under the a central court, again you find another three types of courts in the Egyptian judiciary, like Lucratis, next Bermantiste, and the Koyenedak. Okay, so these are three important courts, three important judiciary divisions you find under a central judiciary system of Egyptian legal system. Okay, so I will give you what are the these divisions deal with. So one is the Lucratis, a system of judiciary, which is like a system of court. Okay, so Lucratis is a type of court which deals with the problems of the Egyptians itself. Okay, so here the Lucratis is a court only belongs to the problems of the Egyptians itself. And Bermatiste is Lucratis is Lukrites. Okay, so Lucratis is a one type of court. Okay, which is confined to the confined to the native Egyptians. And Bermatiste is a another type of court which deals with the problems within uh, the within the Egyptians and not Egyptians, only about the migrant Greeks. Okay, so not only Greeks migrants you find, you also find certain migrants from other civilizations also, like Rome and Mesopotamia. Likewise, there are certain migrants you find within the Egyptian civilization. Okay, so here the Bermatiste was a court which only confined to the migrants. Okay, so the problems faced by the migrants. And next one is the Koyenedak. Bermatiste is Bermatiste. Okay, so Bermatiste is a type of court which deals with the problem of the foreigners. Okay, so migrants. And next one is the Koyenedak. Koyenedak, Koyenidok. Koyenedak. Koyenedak is another important system of legal system or a type of court which deals with the problems within the Greeks or migrants or native Egyptians. ఓకే, సో ఇక్కడ ఏదైతే ఈ గ్రీకులకి అంటే మైగ్రెంట్స్కి అట్లనే అక్కడ ఉన్నటువంటి స్థానిక ఈజిప్షియన్లకి మధ్య ఏమైనా వివాదాలు ఉన్నట్లయితే ఆ వివాదాలని పరిష్కరించేటటువంటి కోర్టు కోయినడాక్. ఓకే, సో లూక్రటైస్ అనేటటువంటిది ఆ స్థానికంగా ఉండేటటువంటి నివాసం ఉండేటటువంటి ఈజిప్షియన్స్ యొక్క ప్రాబ్లమ్స్ అంటే వాళ్ళ యొక్క వివాదాలను పరిష్కరించేటటువంటి ఒక కోర్టు. అట్లనే బెర్మాటిస్టే అనేటటువంటిది ఏదైతే ఓన్లీ మైగ్రెంట్స్ ఎవరైతే వలసదారులు ఉన్నారో మిగతా ప్రాంతాల నుంచి వచ్చి ఈ ఈజిప్షియన్స్ ఈజిప్షియన్స్ ఈ యాన్సెంట్ ఈజిప్ట్ టెరిటరీస్లో ఎవరైతే నివాసం ఉంటున్నారో వాళ్ళ యొక్క ప్రాబ్లమ్స్ని సాల్వ్ చేసేటటువంటి కోర్టు బెర్మాటిస్టే. ఓకే, సో ఇవన్నిటికంటే ఒక సెంట్రలైజ్డ్ కోర్టు ఒకటి మనకు కనిపిస్తూ ఉంటుంది. అది ఏదైతే ఫారో హీ వాస్ సుప్రీం supreme at the whole judiciary system, and he was a supreme head of this judiciary system. Okay, so and సెంట్రల్ లెవెల్లో అంటే ఫారో కింద ఉన్నటువంటి ఏదైతే ఒక సెంట్రల్ జ్యుడిషియరీ సిస్టమ్ ఉందో దానికి ఒక హెడ్ ఉండేటటువంటి వాడు చీఫ్ జస్టిస్ అనేటటువంటి వాడు ఉండేడను. ఓకే, సో వీళ్ళు కాకుండా ఏదైతే ప్రాంతీయ ఆచారాలు అట్లనే చట్టాలు ఇక్కడ జనరల్గా ఇక ఒక ముఖ్యమైనటువంటి పాత్ర పోషించాయి కాబట్టి ఆస్తుపాస్తుల సమస్యలు, వివాహం లాంటి కొన్ని సమస్యలు ఏవైతే ఉంటే వాటిని స్థానికంగా ఉన్నటువంటి వ్యక్తులు కొంతమంది తీర్చేటటువంటి వాళ్ళు. అందులో ముఖ్యంగా మనం మాట్లాడుకున్న ఎవరైతే ఇక్కడ ఆమన్ అనేటటువంటి ఒక వీబ్ అనేటటువంటి ఒక ఏదైతే పురోహిత వర్గం నుంచి వచ్చినటువంటి వాడు సెంట్రల్ గవర్నమెంట్లోని ఏదైతే ఫారూక్ అడ్వైజర్గా ఉన్నాడో అట్లానే స్థానికంగా ఉన్నటువంటి పురోహితులు ఎవరైతే ఉంటారో అంటే ఆ పురోహిత వర్గం నుంచి వచ్చినటువంటి వీబ్ అనేటటువంటి వర్గం నుంచి వచ్చినటువంటి పూజారులు ఎవరైతే ఉన్నారో వాళ్ళు మాత్రమే ఈ చిన్న చిన్న తగాదాలు కానీ ఏమైనా సమస్యలు ఉన్నట్లయితే వాళ్ళు వీటిని పరిష్కరించేటటువంటి పరిస్థితి ఉండేదన్నమాట. ఓకే, సో ఇదే కాకుండా నేరాల యొక్క తీవ్రతను బట్టి కొన్ని శిక్షలు కూడా ఉండేవి. ఓకే, సో ఇవే కాకుండా ఒక 30 మంది సభ్యులు కలిగినటువంటి ఒక సెంట్రల్ జ్యుడిషియరీ సిస్టమ్ ఆల్రెడీ చెప్పాను. ఏదైతే ఫారో కింద ఒక సెంట్రల్ జ్యుడిషియరీ సిస్టమ్ ఉందో అందులో 30 మంది సభ్యులు కలిగినటువంటి సభ్యులు అంటే ఇక్కడ జడ్జిస్ ఉన్నటువంటి ఒక న్యాయస్థానం ఉండేది. దాన్ని కేంద్ర న్యాయస్థానంగా చెప్తారనమాట. ఓకే, సో ఇవన్నీ కూడా ఏదైతే ఒక న్యాయస్థానం ఒక పరిధిలో ఉన్నటువంటి అంశాలు. ఇవే కాకుండా ఏవైతే భూమి శిస్తు అనేటటువంటి దానికి సంబంధించినటువంటి అంశాలను కూడా పరిష్కరించేటటువంటి పని ఈ కోర్టులు చేసేటటువంటివి. ఓకే, సో అట్లనే ఏదైతే రకరకాలైనటువంటి ఆదాయాలు అంటే మీకు తెలుసు ఏదైతే భూమి శిస్తు కానీ ఇవే కాకుండా కొన్ని రకాలైనటువంటి స్లాటర్ హౌజెస్ కానీ గ్రైండింగ్ మిల్స్ కానీ బేకరీస్ లాంటి ఏవైతే కొన్ని రకాలైనటువంటి అంశాలు ఉన్నాయో వాటి మీద వచ్చేటటువంటి ఏదైతే ఆదాయానికి సంబంధించినటువంటి వ్యవహారాల్లో ఏమైనా సమస్యలు ఉన్నట్లయితే లేదా వివాదాలు ఉన్నట్లే వాటిని కూడా పరిష్కరించేటటువంటి పని ఏవైతే ఈ న్యాయస్థానాలు చేసేటటువంటివి. ఓకే, సో ఇంకా సుంకాలు, శిస్తు, దోపిడీలు ద్వారా వచ్చినటువంటివి ఏదైతే సొమ్ము ఉన్నదో ఆదాయం ఉన్నదో దానికి సంబంధించినటువంటి వివాదాలను కూడా పరిష్కరించేటటువంటి పని ఏవైతే ఈ కోర్టులు చేసేటటువంటివి. ఓకే, సో ఇవి ఏదైతే ఈరోజు అడ్మినిస్ట్రేషన్కి సంబంధించి అట్లనే అక్కడ ఉన్నటువంటి న్యాయ వ్యవస్థకు సంబంధించినటువంటి అంశాలు. ఇంకా దీనికి ఇవే కాకుండా ఇంకేమైనా మీకు అంటే ఇంకా మనం డిస్కస్ చేయాల్సినవి చాలా ఉన్నాయి, రైట్? సో ముఖ్యంగా రిలీజియన్కి సంబంధించినటువంటి అంశాలు, కల్చరల్ ఆస్పెక్ట్స్ ఇంకా మనం డిస్కస్ చేయాల్సినటువంటి అంశం ఉంది. ఓకే, సో ఇవే కాకుండా సైన్స్ అండ్ టెక్నాలజీకి సంబంధించినటువంటి అంశాలు కూడా మనం డిస్కస్ చేయాల్సి ఉంది. కాబట్టి సో మనం కంప్లీట్ చేసుకున్నటువంటి వాటిల్లో మీకేమైనా ఇంకా ఆర్ట్ అండ్ ఆర్కిటెక్చర్ కూడా మనం చెప్పుకోవాలి, మమ్మిక్వేషన్ అట్లనే పిరమిడ్స్కి సంబంధించినటువంటి అంశాలు మనం చూడాలి. కాబట్టి సో వీటికి సంబంధించినటువంటి అంశాలు ఇప్పటివరకు మనం చెప్పుకున్నటువంటి వాటికి సంబంధించినటువంటి అంశాలకు సంబంధించి మీకు ఏమైనా డౌట్స్ ఉంటే మీరు అడగచ్చు. స్టూడెంట్స్
సార్ ఈరోజు షెడ్యూల్ ఇస్తున్నారు కదా సార్ ఏదో.
ఇస్తా అన్నాను, కానీ అది కాలేజ్లోనే ఉన్నది టైం టేబుల్. సో నేను కాలేజీకి వెళ్ళి తీసుకొద్దాం అనుకున్నా, ఈరోజు గెలవలేదు. మ్యాక్సిమం రేపు మీకు షేర్ చేసే ప్రయత్నం చేస్తాను.
ఓకే సార్.
నేను కాలేజీకి వెళ్ళలే ఈరోజు.
ఓకే సార్.
ఓకే, ఇంకా రైట్. థ్యాంక్ యూ. ఏమీ లేకపోతే నేను క్లోజ్ చేస్తాను క్లాస్. ఓకే, థ్యాంక్ యూ. ఐ ఆమ్ ఎండింగ్ మై క్లాస్ నౌ. మళ్ళా
Okay, sir. Thank you.